Ron Futrell seems to have found the coolest spot in town to do his sports tonight.
Ron, I can see you from the waist up. I want to know from the waist down, are you standing in the water?
I wish. Matt said this was a great day to go by the pool, so we decided to take him up on it. We are at the City Diving Championships here at Doolittle Pool. Let's take a second, if we can, here and watch one of the divers come off the board here. These are divers from all over the city, and in fact from Boulder City, come up here for this tournament. Every year they have this at the end of the year, of what they call the year for divers. There is another championship going on with swimming up in Reno today. A lot of local swimmers took off up there for the state swimming championships. Let's take a second and watch this little guy off the dive. He's got to adjust the board apparently here a little bit before he gets on. You got to have enough spring and action on that board, right? You got to make sure that's nice before you take the dive. All right, not a bad one, huh? Great timing and a nice dive we got to see there. On to some football news for you now. The Washington Redskins, yesterday they signed their running back, Kelvin Bryant, from the USFL to a contract. They also signed a quarterback by the name of Doug Williams, two great USFL prospects now going to the NFL. Kelvin Bryant arrived in camp today and began taking some lessons. He's going to take a little while to learn, as you can see right here, for Kelvin as he falls down on that one. Take a little while to learn the Redskin system before the season starts September 7th. Next to Kelvin, you recognize the guy on his left there, George Rogers. Those two will put together one of the best backfields in the NFL. Now, Rogers and Bryant will rival the Walker-Dorsett combination that they got going in Dallas now. It'll be interesting to see when those two teams play each other this year. There's going to be a lot of running going on, you can imagine, with those backfields in that game. Now, since 1978, San Diego Chargers have been one of the most popular teams in the NFL, but they haven't won a Super Bowl or even a conference championship in all of that time. They don't play in one of the media capitals, maybe one of the reasons that they perhaps aren't considered as popular a major NFL franchise that people would say classify the Cowboys or the Redskins or so forth. But they're popular, I guess, for one particular reason, and Steven Jackson's going to tell us.
Offense, that's the answer. Pure, unadulterated, exciting offense. Steven Jackson, News 13 Sports.
All right, it'll be interesting to see at 11 o'clock if the Chargers really do have a defense, because over the years they haven't shown much of a defense. That'll be interesting to see. All right, we're down to pennant race time now with the Las Vegas Stars. Just 3 weeks left in the season, and the Stars right now are tied for first place with Phoenix, so that'll be an interesting race to watch. The Stars return home tonight for a 12-game homestand, their final homestand of the season. They take on Calgary, 7:35 at Cashman Field. And boxing promoter Bob Arum says he is going to meet with Marvelous Marvin Hagler tomorrow and his trainers and manager to see what the Marvelous Man wants to do. He wants to find out if Marvin is going to retire, if he's going to fight Tommy Hearns, or if he's going to have a match with Sugar Ray Leonard. He is betting on the fact that Marvelous Marvin, at least he feels that Marvelous Marvin, may announce his retirement officially tomorrow. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we ran a story about a guy up in Seattle that was selling some football helmets, but they weren't the traditional football helmets. They were actually hard hats painted as NFL football helmets. Now, a local businessman saw our story, got in touch with the guy in Seattle, and has since bought the distributorship rights for the product in Southern Nevada. The hats are regulation helmets. They're put in the official color and emblem on those hats. The company, C&L Wholesale, is a local company distributing the hats. Now, after we ran our first story about the helmets, we had a number of phone calls from people wanting to know where you can buy them, so we'll tell you here now. They can be purchased at the Escape Lounge on the corner of Spring Mountain and Decatur. They're going to sell for about $25 to $30 a piece. Again, that location, the Escape Lounge, Spring Mountain and Decatur. Pretty soon a large selection of college helmets is going to be available, and then from there, who knows, the sky's the limit. They may have some baseball helmets, hockey helmets, who knows from there. But it'll be interesting to see what they're going to end up doing with those. It's hot out here, you know that? And I've been watching these guys dive for so long that I'm going to have to take a dip myself, if that's all right. Can you take a minute? Let me have just a second to take a nice dive here.
I'll give you a 4.5, Ron. He can't hear me. I'm sure he can't hear me. Anyway, 4.5, maybe a 5. Maybe a 5.
I don't think so,
know.
not with his hands.
When does a bright smile...